Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Before we go any further, before you ask, no, we will literally never cover any of the other Amnesia games. Do not ask. I do want to say shoutouts and thank you to 040i2, Two Minuets, Don, Captain Vice, Cody DW12, Command and Conquer 2, Korgoth88, Croatia, Decastus, Darch Monster, Dark Day 95, Deckfish, Direct D, Doom Daven, Dream Whisper, a lot of D's, Dragon Player, DZ Maven, Equalitas, Eternus88, I haven't seen him in quite a bit, I hope he's okay, Sasha Fenn, That Rift Person, The Simple Gamer 10, the person who put this game on the list, which is Sign of the Emperor, and of course our majority stakeholder, which is Javin. Another person I haven't seen in a while, and I really hope he's okay. Thank you all of you for making this run happen. So, Amnesia. Not actually their first game, or their second, or their third. What's funny, though, is this game is pretty much the example of the luck game. What I mean by that is nothing and no one could have predicted that this game was going to take off. There's no like all the pieces are in place, so there's a logic to this being the game that exploded the way it did. But there's also like 1,000 other games that could have done the exact same thing in the exact same way, right? Yeah, no, it was luck. It was literally just luck. Markiplier found this and has kind of launched his career, and a bunch of other YouTubers and streamers found this, and it kind of helped their careers, and it's it. That was its shot in the arm. And then they went on to make Soma, a game that sucks. So, amusingly, we've actually played Soma before this, so this should be interesting going back to Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I should mention, if you are expecting me to go throughout the course of the run, this is probably not the stream for you. That's not a dig, that's just a statement of fact. I am, in fact, a very, very boring man. So, without any further ado, I could give all kinds of behind the scenes of how they were running behind on money, and how they were running behind on budget, and they were running behind on time. No, I'm actually serious. If you ever want to read about a absolutely just completely bungled behind the scenes development thing, look into the development of Amnesia. It was mismanaged to hell and back. It's actually astonishing that there's any decent game in this game at all. I find it funny because, you know, so many times in my career I have covered a game, you know, like Dragon Age Veilguard, right, where it's just like, hey, ugh, and the development was just this gigantic mess of nonsense. And most of the time, that results in a worse game. By all accounts, Amnesia is decent. I have heard many people, including at least one person whose opinion I respect, say that this is a reasonably solid horror game. They've even given me reasonings as to why. But I honestly wonder how much of that is deliberate and how much of that just kind of lucked into place. Because another thing we've observed on this show is a lot of times brilliant game design will happen by accident. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump in. Ah! Sorry. Welcome to Amnesia: The Dark Descent. What follows is a couple of quick messages on how to get the best possible experience. Amnesia should not be played to win. No, that's kind of my job. I am here to win. Instead, focusing on immersing yourself in the game's world and story. Okay. No, but continuing. Do not worry about when and how to save during gameplay. The game. So actually, I've heard this advice several times. The game has an autosave, but interestingly enough, it does have a save anywhere option. So you can literally just save anywhere if you choose to. But there are the autosave points are manually crafted. So they're designed to be conducive to the gameplay experience, and so most people I know recommend don't use the manual save. I do like that it's an option. When you want to leave the game, just to save and exit. And just continue whenever you start back up the game. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place, and you're extremely vulnerable. I don't know what this accent is. I apologize. I wasn't doing it on purpose. Do not try to fight the enemies encountered. Instead, use your wits. Hide, or even run if necessary. The interplay between light and dark is very important in the game because of it is vital to because of this it is vital to set up the gamma correctly. Make sure to play in a dark room and wear headphones. I got half of that. That is all. Hope you enjoy immersing yourself in the world of Amnesia. How could I? Okay. New player. Sure. Yep, whoops. Alright, what do we got here? Let's check our options. Let's see. We can turn on the commentary. By the way, a lot of this game was directly inspired by Half-Life 2, and Plutonia earlier mentioned the Justine thing, which was literally just a thing designed to plug Portal 2. Just to really emphasize that there. Wait, mouse? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, but there's no, like, audio options to speak of. I could turn the game down. The whole game. I'd like to share a small story, if that's okay with you. So, when this game first came out, it was really crash-heavy. Like, really crash-heavy. Turn that off, too. And that. There we go. And so... Okay, we'll restart the game. And so, as a consequence, there was a group that was doing a speedrun. This was during, I believe, SGDQ 2013 or 2012. One of the two. This is a while ago. And while they were there, they actually turned off the lights in the room, in the speedrunning room. And the speedrunner himself was wearing shades, and everyone was wearing black. And they were all set up. It was all, you know, they were going in, they were leaning into it. It was all just to have fun. And then the game crashed, and immediately led to this gigantic bright screen, which basically flashbanged the entire room. And there was a lot of legitimate, actual jump scare reactions to that. Just, ah! Because of the flashbang. And then, of course, you know, recognizing what happened, everyone just started leaning into it like, oh my god, this is the scariest game I've ever played. My eyes will never be the same again. No. It was great. Anyways. If it's not obvious, I know a decent amount about this game because, for whatever reason, this is a weirdly popular speedrunning game. I can't imagine why. Like, there is obviously gameplay to this game, unlike Machine for Pigs. There's also Game Geek to this game, unlike Machine for Pigs. Oh, it also mutes when you alt tab. Oh, that's fantastic. That's really going to help the immersion of being in the middle of a tense moment. And then, like, Game Geek's going to donate. And it'll be like, they will come for you. Oh, hang on. Thank you, Game Geek, for the donation. Always appreciate. I'll put this down here. 5, 6, 9, 8. I mean, Gothic is also another game that gets sped run a lot, so... Dynasty Warriors Origins, Pokemon Legends CA, and Pokopia. The most terrifying donations ever made. Appreciate you, GameB. Yeah, I gotta wear the sun. What's funny is I actually have transitionals. These right here, these actual glasses. So if I could just like hold these over here for, I don't know, like a minute. Just hold them in the sun there and come back. I could be wearing shades for this run. Yeah, this game, the part of the reason I mentioned earlier they had really bad, like, budget and management and finances issues. It's probably because it was a team of, well, like 5 people, something like that. It was not a large team. And none of them had any idea what they were doing. No offense. Most game developers do not know management at all. That's why they get taken advantage of by publishers all the time. Anyways, okay, so... Behold. Oh, right. Sorry, let's go ahead and start the game. So, right. We should talk about hard mode. Let me alt-tab. Very important. Gotta kill the atmosphere immediately. I am going to give a plus to difficulty design for the hard mode. Give difficulty option, excuse me. So, hard mode is fascinating. I don't remember all of the stuff off the top of my head, but I know that so, you no longer... there's much less... fuel for your lamp, and the sanity damage, you do technically have a health bar in this game. It's your sanity meter. Sanity meter hits 0, right? There's some stuff about that, but in the base game, as you will see, as your sanity gets lower, it has a few effects, which I will let you see as we go. In the hard mode, the sanity damage is sufficiently large that if you look at an enemy, we'll talk about that. It takes you take so much damage from it that it's just, and you're dead. So don't look at anything, and substantially more scarce resources. Also, you have to spend a resource to save. And that's the real kicker. And most people I know who actually run hard mode enjoy it, but only because it's like their 3rd or 5th or 20th time playing it. Everyone I know recommends not playing hard mode for an initial playthrough. But I'll give it credit for being a manually designed hard mode rather than just bleh. Yeah, hard mode was patched in.
Some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
It's a good time to mention that if there's anything that's going to crush during this review, from a review perspective, it would be the sound design. Nice place. Like all good, proper Prussian castles. And that's our notes. Yeah, I Have No Mouth had not only a bit of an absence of proper sound design, but, you know, terrible sound balancing, so that's always cool. Nice place, nice place. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a nausea warning. There's going to be a lot of that. I'm just going to say that right now. Messing with your camera is probably, I'd say, the most common trick in this game. Like, that's not me doing it. My hand's off the mouse, and it's just doing that. See? There's our tinderbox. Used to light candles and other sources of light. I've heard a lot of people praise the usage of light in this game. I actually want to kind of come up with my own opinion on it, but I will repeat the commonly repeated refrain just so you can hear it and we can see what we think of it. The common refrain is that light is simultaneously your enemy and your ally, which then forms the primary gameplay loop. In fact, if you pay attention, I've actually already mentioned the sanity loop as a possible positive under the gameplay. The idea is light lets you see and light lets you recover sanity. However, it also makes you substantially easier to be caught. If you are sitting curling in darkness, the enemy has a harder time seeing you, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe this is to the same extent as, say, Thief, but the same idea, right? What movement did we just do to produce that camera? I'm sorry. Like, I'm picturing the person, right? Who's like... just bouncing all over the place. One second, I just realized I don't have water. And, you know, I hear water is a good thing. Amnesia, the Water Descent. Have they made a water Amnesia? Because I don't know about the third or fourth games. Like, the only other Amnesia game I know anything about is pigs. Frickin' pigs. Soma doesn't count. Although I guess it kind of does. I would say something unkind about Soma, but I basically can't talk about that game without spoiling it, so... Damn you, Walter. Damn you. What is what? Hey, 100% people who've drunk water have died. Just saying. Just point it out. I've been thinking about the brickwork already. It's bad when you get close. Like, that's... It's PS2 graphics, right? But when you look at it from a distance, you can tell that... Damn it, Hitler! You could tell that some thought was put into it, right? You can tell that whatever the team was doing, the art team was kind of spot on and had an idea of where they were going with things. Like, even just this shot right here gets across a bit of an idea of just being a little bit off, right? Just a little. It's a normal corridor. Everything's fine, other than the blood splashes. But then, like, why is that door ajar over there? Why is that next to it right there? Why is the entire left wall hung with completely blank draperies? It prompts questions. And there's going to be some other much better set design later on. So, in the traditional sense of what brickwork means, which is set design, I'll jot that down. We'll get back to it. So if you're watching this, especially on YouTube, there's a non-zero chance that you are interested in horror games. I won't bother to ask you why. No, push-ups. Soma's set underwater. Very, very underwater. An idea has come to my head, which I want to stress that it's just the vaguest beginnings of an idea, and I have no desire to, peek behind the curtain, so to speak. But I'm not into horror games, obviously, and I've actually felt several times that reviewing a horror game almost diminishes the point of playing a horror game. Like, I'm not going to get into the moment for the most part if I'm spending the entire time analyzing it. Is what I would say, except we've done plenty of horror game reviews which have done pretty well. Silent Hill 2R comes to mind immediately. That's good. Some light going on here. There's our tutorial, by the way. This is how light works. Freaking ghosts, I swear to God. Anyways, the bottom line is I was considering maybe allowing certain horror games, and like very curated, I suppose, horror games, but in a sense of not reviewing them. In other words, just playing them, and that's it. Bog standard Let's Play. No, Taquati, you're getting at it, right? There's usually not much to discuss. I do have something interesting here. I do like how it actually shows us right there. This is how many of the consumable we have that we could still use to interact with things. I got one left. So simply by seeing that, and on the mouse over, that's actually really good cross-referencing design. So I can see, aha, I don't want to burn any more of those right now. I'm almost out. Kind of wish I had a run button right about now, but that's neither here nor there. The thing is, they would have to be very carefully curated because there is some horror stuff that I pretty much just can't deal with. Like, if you want me to play Binding of Isaac, I'm just going to say no. Is it, Miss Jonga? I guess we'll find out. Oh, wait. Witnessing unsettling events reduces your sanity. But you can increase it by completing puzzles and making progress. I think there is a run button, it's just really pathetic right now. Ignore the cockroaches, God. I have to talk with the maid. No, no, you can't fund anything. This is still just the beginnings of an idea. It's just something that was occurring to me recently. I'll just sit here, restore our sanity for a second. Hang on, let me just... Yeah, no, exactly. If you suggest I have no mouth and I'm a screen, I would have immediately vetoed it. Absolutely, and without hesitation. Amusingly, I would have done so incorrectly. But I would have done so because I have read the short story, and the short story can go directly to hell. Love the sound design, I really do. Oh, wait, no, my lamp, my lamp, my lamp! Okay, there we go. Okay. It's terrifying. Okay, I've got a book. We're good, guys. We're good. See, the problem is, if I've never heard of a game like Slender the 8 Pages, I can only say, moo. And what I would have to do is I would have to turn to someone who actually knows horror and say, well. And then they could give me a response based on being a sentient individual and not giving me spoilers. Yeah, let's get some sanity back. Come on, like, I'm still swaying on the camera here. Okay, so what did I miss here? Ha! Yeah, I know, I'm supposed to turn on the lantern. Go. Open. Yeah. Nice place. Not saying I'm gonna move in tomorrow, but like, there's worse Prussian castles to be lost in, right? Ahem. Thank you, Poser Snow, for the sub, as always. Silent Hill F, yeah, I'd probably veto that. Along with most Silent Hills, I feel. The only one I might lean in there is Silent Hill 1. Maybe. The original. Not, you know, any modern ones. Jedi Survivor. Dispatch. Right, Sonic Adventure 1. Done. Okay. Fatal Frames? I don't even know what those are. I suppose by definition, I don't know.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Uh-huh. Wonder what I'm not telling myself. Oh, I've upgraded from a book to a chair now, so... Hang on. Here we go. Oh, there's my health. There's my sanity. I've got a headache. A little bit of oil. Okay, so... There we go. Found the button. Wait. Come on. Come on. There we go. Dum-de-dum. Oh god, it's Blateful. Back to my one true weapon. Chair. Door. I found a door. Thank you, Blateful. As always. What am I listening to? Why am I in this stupid castle? Oh my god. Why did I come to this castle? Don't answer that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need sanity. It's fine. It's fine. So we'll put that towards Tokyo Extreme Racers. Godzilla, too long of a name. And Final Fantasy IX. The Madagascar hissing creatures. Oh man, I love Turkish Delights. It's probably been a couple of years since I've had one. Anyone out there like Turkish Delights? Do I have any Turkish Delight likers in the chat?
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
Now that guy sounds trustworthy. And let's go ahead and jot down a positive for that really quick. Voice acting. Duh. Now you are going to give me your social security card and your maiden's mother name. Don't worry, it's for very legitimate purposes. Would you like to also give me your... I don't know. What else do scammers want these days? Okay, can someone call the maid? Yes, would you like to start using generative AI? It will lower your expenses and make your jobs take much less time. What? I wonder if we're going to see the milk duds moment. Or whatever the candy was. Oh, hey, there's our sprint. Hey! It's slightly less horrible. Yes, you must immediately give us all your money, or we will shut down your driver's license. Because that's a thing that happens.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more.
Yeah.
Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Well, there you go. There's our villain of the game. The British Museum. That's barely a joke. Yeah, like I said, that's... Hi, Riplinger. I know, they're all just kind of boring scam letters of, we're gonna totally destroy you and kill you if you don't give us money immediately. And it's like, okay, that's not how that works. Dude, I very briefly started looking into the British Museum. Then I stopped. Seeing people in bright rooms on interviews giving their very unashamed reasonings behind why they did certain things the way they did. Like, just the complete lack of shame and the complete lack of any understanding that what they were doing was, you know, morally disgusting and bankrupt was just kind of eyebrow-raising, you know? Why are these stupid cockroaches all hissing? Can't play the piano. It's like someone saying, yes, of course I had to starve the orphans. All the food they were eating could go to other people. And other people are simply more deserving of the food. I made sure to show the orphans the food before they didn't eat it, just to torture them further.
It hasn't been tended to
It's
for
like,
centuries.
what?
When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble, and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Alright, as they're speaking, they stab a puppy, like, hello, puppy. You don't deserve to live, as you lick my face with wonder and adoration. Butterfingers. Hi, King Butterboy. Wait, hang on, did I? I did not. Okay, hi, Zektaft. Yes, this will be incredibly dangerous. Everyone involved might die. Could you send the poor people down there, please? Thank you. Chauncey?
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger.
Get it?
Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Oh no! Alright, let's sit in the darkness for a minute. I feel like that's the right call to make here. So, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I feel like there's been a cave-in behind us. This way. It's okay, there's another cave-in over there. There's a lot of cave-ins inside this castle. There's another cave-in. Why are there so many cave-ins? Oh my god. I'm sorry, son. We're out of oil. There's no way to refill it, aren't there? There we go. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Now we got full oil. Woo! I am actually familiar with a Machine for Pigs. I can even tell you the plot of a Machine for Pigs from memory. I won't. It's incredibly spoilery to do so. I am aware of the final monologue. It is rather well written and exceptionally well performed. And yeah, a game I am almost assuredly never going to cover. I mean, I stand by my sentence. It's weird because, yeah, most of the game is like... You know how in a lot of fictional works, most especially like in video games, characters need to have their quirks dialed up to, I say need to. They often have their quirks dialed up to 11 in order to try and distinguish them. Because when you've got like 70 different villains or bad guys or bosses, you need to do something to distinguish them. So, like, there's a dude who likes knives, and it's not like a real person, right? A real person might think, oh, that's a cool knife. This person has like a knife bed with like knife drawers, and he uses knives to eat his food. And when he eats, if he eats soup, he still uses knives to eat his soup, right? And he likes to he's carved his fingernails into knives. It's his whole identity, right? Anyways, in A Machine for Pigs, the main guy whose name I actually can't think of right now, that's him with pigs, right? He is so ludicrously obsessed with pigs that it actually circles from being like, oh my god, what's wrong with this guy, to, okay, this is kind of boring. I get it. We're all pigs. Everyone's pigs. Everything is pigs. God is pig. Government is pigs. He's a pig. I'm a pig. Pigs, pigs, pigs. Okay, so... Oh, I guess I'm dead. Hang on. Yeah, the whole universe is a pig. Pig, 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 pig. Man, I don't know, Junko. I really don't. Like, I have studied the making of VTMB 2, and that still makes no sense to me, even knowing the events as they actually happened. Oh yeah, by the way, you thought I was joking. There you go. See? We're in Prussia. Okay. Pick that up. No, don't. Oh, whatever. I did not mean to do that. Which makes it harder to see. I mean, yeah, there we go. Oh, God. Oh, God, that controls terribly. Ironically, I suppose. Yeah, can I... Oh, here we go. That'll work. That'll work. Hang on, I've just seen a pig! Pigs! Filthy pigs! There's pigs everywhere. How did you get into my room on my ceiling? What the world? Come here. Accept death. It's okay. You're dead. It's okay. Accept death. It's an ant. There's an ant on my ceiling. The world. Just a scout, obviously. Okay. Ah!
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
No, yeah, there's no reason for an ant to be in here. I actually have no food in this room. I very carefully and specifically make sure there's no food in my room. It was just a scout, obviously, but whatever. I suppose I do have a hole in my ceiling because jackass McElectrician never actually installed the light, so there's just a hole over there and has been for like a month and a half. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It said the soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They're called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, well-known erudite, visited Alstad in the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked in the remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in several records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is shown to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Alstad, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Baron of Brandenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at the nearby castle of Alstad, and like most people know of Earth, rumors are inherited along the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role of protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that Baron is in fact one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through time and occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of the country. Whatever. Immortal vampire counts. Give me a break. Making a beatboxing song here. Don't mind me. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. Just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brandenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter's been handled. Either the king's men leave, or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I'll feed them some wine. It's, in a sense, solve both of my problems. What's funny is this will be the second horror game in a row that actually uses audio as its primary cue for your health/sanity. Wait, who did Andrew Wincott voice in this then, Sion? Since I'm assuming you're mentioning him because he's relevant to this game. Favorite horror level in a non-horror game? Oh, jeez, I don't know. The Ghost Ship in Super Metroid comes to mind immediately. The stage I shall not mention for spoiler reasons in Metroid Dread. Everything to do with Phazon in Metroid Prime. Okay, tangents are cool. I love tangents. Okay. Like, if you want to spoil things, there's doors over there, Elazar. You can spoil outside, away from the rest of us. Just go to your bathroom and start shouting spoilers at the walls. Ah, it was his sled! It was his sled! Huh. Shadow Temple's another good one. Ocarina of Time. I mean, yeah, Judo Joker. I was gonna say the Deep Darkness area of Subnautica. Not Hell Actual. And not the river, the thing above that. I forget what the name of the actual biome is. Oh god, is it really? No, I have not, Plutonia. Sounds amazing though. Oh dude, the pit. In the pit. Yeah, that's a good pick. There's quite a few vaults in the Fallout games, which would probably qualify for me personally. So obviously, if it's not obvious, this is our tutorialization for this entire the monster mechanic. Just looking at the monster costs you, right? It actually gives you a detriment. No, not the Gary Vault. God, Dr. Winter.
May 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
Oh, right. I suppose I should actually move.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
We did it, everyone. We found the Ark of the Covenant. I could see a music positive, because they also use music in the same manner that they did in the previous game. It's fun how that works out that way. Put a question mark there. We'll come back to that. I mean, probably not, Judo Joker. Like, honestly, I sincerely doubt, even if I do acquiesce to future horror games, which, to be clear, I am not doing right now. I'm pretty sure all Silent Hill stuff would be completely off the table. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg. Contract will reign for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian Royal Court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. What's a cellar key? Either way, I don't believe I did. Oh, never mind. I have the wine cellar key, which I can only presume is the same thing, so we're going to go with yes. If you would make a horror game? I don't know. I know what kind of deep, dark, horrible things lurk within your brain, Mr. Red. It'd be very British. I'd start up, there'd be some spotted dick. A bit of eel pie. Ugh. And yeah, just spiders. Not crabs. Spiders everywhere. I've already mentioned a voice acting positive sign. I know you don't check the doc. It is already something I've jotted down as a potential. We're still pretty early in hypotheticals here. And I'm a little distracted, just a little, because there's a small chance, but an extant chance. You remember how last week, about Friday, I said, this is it, we're going to make it 1 week without getting interrupted? I may have to go take the car to the shop later today. We'll see. I say have to. I'm just getting over it as quickly as possible. Brake pads need replacing, and I don't know how to do that. The irony is it's a very small, easy thing to do. But, you know, they are brake pads. Why is there glorp all of a sudden? My sanity's kind of low for some strange reason. Dude, if I could fix things just by smacking them with a wrench, oh my god. No, brake pads on my car should only be like a 3-minute job total. Still has to be done. What? Yeah, okay. Thanks, game. Okay. Well, there's some glorp over the cellar, and that's cool. That's cool. I love me some glorp. No. It's the brake pads aren't broken. They just need replacing. That's what happens. Brake pads wear down over time. That's by design. Oh, I hope not, Reggie. Yeah, perhaps amusingly, brake pads break. I've always found it interesting that, like, darkness drains your sanity.
Where did the Baron
No.
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Wait, so we're playing as a kid? Makes so much sense. Perhaps amusingly considering my own spider issues.
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst. Oh.
And then it did.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Accept it. We're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Yeah, the monsters can't find you in the dark. My name is Wilhelm, House of Gierig. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle of Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious what the supposed knight of the order wanted out from me and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past, and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I'd like to claim I struggled with the decision, but it came swiftly, and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I brought men, women, and children to Brandenburg. The numbers, but there are many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us here and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour out of my eyes, and I can no longer... No longer what? Finish the story! God! I am very low on health, speaking of. Why is I eating my own face? Sorry. There's a reference nobody's gonna get. Aqua Regia? What's that? A jar of Aqua Regia. Okay. Maybe that's a dissolvent? It's almost amusing. There's this trick they're playing, and it's actually quite clever. When you're moving, every now and again, another pair of footsteps is also audible in the distance. But only when you're moving. In other words, if you do a very natural human action and stop to listen, you hear nothing. Yes, the killer is... Ah! What? No, no, ah! Ooh, ah! Extremely unlikely, son. I only barely acquiesced to Dead Space being entered the list at all, and only because it was the remake. So, no. No last minute changes, no sudden, haha, I was going to cover the original. No, I'm just going to cover the remake. And the animator had a fatal heart attack. That's still one of my favorite jokes in that entire film. The only one I like more is Eating the Minstrels. And I suppose that's just morbid of me, but it's the comedic timing of it that really works for me. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. Chemicals need to be mixed first. Okay. No, I put my foot down, son. No more asterisks, no more technicallys, no more allowing horror games in. We're done. No more horror games. Moving on. I'll play Dead Space R, because that was added to the list before that rule. That's it. And 3, obviously. And I think that's it. Are there any other horror games on the list? I don't think so. What is with these cockroaches? God. Yeah, Dead Space 2 was a comedy. Emphasis on past tense. We've actually already covered Dead Space 2. That's why we're only covering Dead Space 1 and 3, because we covered 2. Lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes in my most recent experiments has taken its toll on my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are steamed by fumes and will be difficult to salvage. Move them to a wine cellar. Oh, well, I'm still not going to replay it. Y'all want to watch the Dead Space 2 thing, you can go watch that.
There should be more coop racks. Let me see. And one part Aquaforce.
Oh, there's the chemistry pot. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lacked the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are given, and the cuprite binds them as well. This time I'll attempt Aqua Regia instead of Aqua Fortis in hopes to produce even more solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope I will find an alchemical solution to my predicament. But which ending? There's 3, Twister! Sorry, spoilers. Spoilers, this game has multiple endings. And people argue about which one is the good one, which is actually the only reason I even know about them. And yeah, I wouldn't call Telltale Walking Dead as horror either. Not a horror game. What is the capital of Assyria? I have no idea. What is the capital? Ah! Yeah, it's like calling Metroid a horror game. I see what you're going for, but no. Okay, hang on. So we've got the chemistry pot. We don't have the other 2 things. Hey, Von Falkenstein. Well, that's why it's mostly just kind of a ask me and I'll tell you sort of a situation. 99% of the time, the answer is going to be no. Because if you're asking, there's a pretty good chance it is a horror game. But for example, Half-Life 2 is not a horror game. Yeah, Resident Evil 7 is the only one that's what I would consider a horror game. Resident Evil 1, for example, like, certainly has some good atmosphere, but even that's not horror. Yeah, speaking of which, that is currently vetoed by Jabal. Okay, so I obviously missed something else. Take damage. Cool. I love taking damage. That's why I play video games, is I don't take enough damage in real life, so I gotta take even more damage in the game. Ha! Maybe. One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I'm able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and safe return. Yeah, sure. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. What? No, wait. It's okay. Why is it all shaky? I've got a lantern. Chill, dude. I'm in the light. It's fine. God. What are the first? I actually don't remember the first answer. So I need calamine and orpiment and cuprite, none of which I've found. And then they're in. I guess everything's in the wine cellar, but like some of it wasn't. Oh, whatever. I guess I'll go back to the wine cellar. Thought I was done down there, I'm not sure. Thought I was thorough. Obviously I wasn't. Back we go. There's never enough wine. Yeah, Daniel wrote some of the letters. We know Wilhelm wrote some of the letters. Alexander writes his own things. Talk about that later. Because nobody likes rum. They say they do, but they don't. They're lying. Well, there's the cuprite. Hang on, Mook. I need to do an experiment. Boy, I love getting saw blades shoved into my eyes, Mook. Check that, or check that. Isn't Eternal Darkness on the list? Although I don't know if I'd call it a horror game, but... kind of showed a map. I know that would sort of... Listen, listen. People really want me to stream horror. I am going to admit I don't know why. I feel like there are better YouTubers for that. Streamers, I guess. Like Markiplier. Oh, god damn it. It's literally right. Well, no. Yeah, that's the cow line. Oh, no! I got warped! No! Well, it doesn't matter. If it's on the list, it's on the list, so... Wait, you're a billionaire, Noctis? Alright, well, this sucks. Stop freaking out. Stop freaking out. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get out of here. Apparently scrawny, good boy. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the key anymore. Okay, I'm also pretty low on a lot of things. Oh, whatever. So it was, let's see. Calamine, Orpiment, Cuprite. Well, fine. I'll go to the laboratory then, if I can ever get out of here. Too heavy. How about you? Yeah. Nope. Okay. Look, I'm sorry. Anybody who calls Resident Evil horror is just not familiar with the franchise. I don't have a better way to say that. As I showed. Never mind, I'm a very strong person. I just lifted a giant beam of log by myself. One's debatable. I've never played Code Veronica, Saya, so looking forward to is probably the wrong word there. I know a lot of Resident Evil fans who are looking forward to it, so that's good enough for me. But, like, how? Like, clearly nothing's happening here. See? Like, look. Beams are out of the way. Rocks are out of the way. I swear I pulled on that earlier and nothing happened. Actually, I've already noticed it's kind of weird with the push-pull mechanics. That might just be what that was. No, I don't know. Isn't it the 2 and 4 team I'm focused on? right. Don't want to take more damage. By saving a few seconds. I mean, I do actually want to take more damage to save a few seconds, but I'm not gonna. Okay. Oh, this is the wrong thing. Damn it. Oh, whatever. It's this one. Alright, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, so it was... I think it was Calumet first. Or second. Yeah. And then Cuprite third. Yep. Then Aqua first. What is wrong with the structural integrity of this place? Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. I'm missing one? I am missing one. I thought I wasn't. Okay, cool. Alright. That's my fault. I lost track. I do what all good scientists do. Throw stuff in anger. I thought it called for 8, but it called for 9! 9! Well, let's go see the cave-in that just happened behind us. Oh, that's worse than a cave-in. That's... Can I make that jump? Yeah, I probably could. There's some oil, which is good, because way too low on this crap. Yep, we're throwing all kinds of science at the wall. To see what sticks. Okay, so this is our physics puzzle tutorial. Hang on. It's okay, I've played Half-Life 2. I've got this. The pure scientific genius. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm stuck. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Pure scientific genius. I don't even know who that is. Push-ups. So obviously I missed something back in the cellar. Actually, hang on. No, yeah, it has to be in the cellar. Oh my god. All right. I just okay. Oh, right. I would not know who that is. Excuse me. I mean, Fallout 1 is definitely going for a very different tone than literally every other Fallout game. I have no idea, Lizard. I tend to not keep track of that kind of thing. Like, even if you do, I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm just going to sit there 3 years from now. I remember that one time when that Elizar ruined everything by spoiling whatever it was he spoiled. And then now I've talked like this ever since. And now I play Donkey Kong games. All day, all night, just Donkey Kong. Oh my god. Alright. Well, I feel like I got something in this room last time. I am not here to cast judgment, but I would say it's probably unhealthy to hold on to grudges, yeah. Just ask the dwarves! I know we got this one.
Everything's gone.
Carrick is burning! Sorry. Did we get one in here? Yes, well, did we? Probably did. I've been into this room twice now. Still nothing in here. Yeah, I'm like 90% certain we did this room. Yep, it's going in the book. That's not a dwarven accent, but they call it one. And I know we did this room. It's falling right wall at this point. And I know we did this room. Which means, by logical conclusion, okay. I was trying extra hard. Because, you know, duh. The last time. My health's fine. Although, I will go chug that. There we go. I don't even understand that question, Elithor. Oh, you mean with the grudges. It was a reference to Warhammer Fantasy Dwarves, who actually have a literal book of grudges. It's kind of interesting, actually. I've got to watch a speedrun of this game now. I'm actually really curious how they just blitz this. Look, it's I can't. Opium, it does a body good. Short? How dare you insinuate that someone should call them short? And I've already been in here, haven't I? No, because there's clearly something I haven't grabbed, right? There. A lot of bunny hopping. Is this source? Alright. We've got to break bad, I guess. Sorry. Yep. My teeth hurt so much, I brushed my teeth with opium. God, I can't even imagine that. Imagine just pain every time you eat. I don't actually have to imagine that. I had to have a tooth pulled because of that problem. It was not fun. Try to be shocked. Oh, goody. More gorp. Why is there more... Oh, God. Why is there more gorp? Why is there gorp? Why is Gluck happening? I was promised no Gluck. Mr. Red, you lied to me. Or I guess Sign of the Emperor did. Sign of the Emperor, you lied to me. There's Gluck. Okay, where the hell was the lab? Oh my god, we just played Cataclysm. Whatever. Let's go into the room we've already lit. We are really low on oil. Okay. Woo! Oh, I know that feeling too, Reggie. It's fun. There we go. Hey! Oh god, that's a good question, Mr. Red. Yeah, I was initially worried because, you know, finite resource, blah, 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 but I can already tell you that oil is more scarce than tinderboxes. Made the acid. You've got a pot of acid. Glug, glug, glug. Ugh, frickin' dentist. I mean, I am completely bone dry on oil right now, so we'll see if it does make it that. I'm guessing it's not doing it right now because we're retreading the same 2 rooms over and over. Listen, we all know Nagash is the best. Everyone knows this. Yeah, why is the camera shaking? Yeah, it looks kind of red to me, Mr. Red. Yeah, kind of an orangish red. I don't know, it's very pulsy. Kind of gross. A little gross. Whatever, let's get out of here. So we're apparently playing 2 point-and-click adventure games in a row here, given how this entire section was constructed. In fact, I'm strongly considering putting this under the point-and-click adventure genre when I tabulate this. Oh my god, Scion. What level of wizard are you? 21. But you can't be higher than level 20 wizard. Yeah, I know. Yeah. There's a lean. A lean to, one might say. Hmm.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
So anywho. Hang on, I want to rebind that really quick. Wouldn't there be a good reason to lean in a cover shooter, though? Like, if you think about it, so you can lean out, shoot. I guess at that point, you're just moving out, so I guess there's not much difference. I don't know. Because you're right, like, System Shock and Deus Ex, I think? Did Deus Ex have a lean mechanic? The original. Ooh, excuse me. There we go. That's much better. What to see here about us insane people. Woogity woogity. Woogity boogity boogity. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm insane. I haven't really seen any sanity effects of note yet, other than just wiggling camera.
June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it, lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
Nope. Your sanity is dangerously low. Oh yeah, we're at ... now. Look, I've got fire. It's fine. Look, see? Calm, peace. Oh god, I don't have camera control. Oh god. I've lost camera control. Yeah, my migraine levels are increasing. And it's why is my sanity not going up? I'm in the light. What? Oh, see here, light. Everything's fine. Chill, dude. Wait, seriously? Okay. Yes, yes. The sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. But for such a weird little game that we only played the one time, that line has stuck with me weirdly long. Points if you even recognize the game in question. Hi, Tycho O'Brien. How are you? Yep. Yep, it's, oh god, what's the name of the game? I can't remember the name of the game. Hang on, hang on. It is the Undersea, and it's the artificial sun. But, like, sunless seas, that's it, because there's sunless skies, and then there's sunless seas. We haven't played skies yet. Is my sanity going up? No, we're still... whatever. I guess I'm just insane now. Alright, cool. Thanks. I always wanted to be insane, and well, I always knew one day I'd do my parents proud. Hang on, since we have a tinderbox or 3, let's use a couple of these here. Oh, hey, hang on. I think it stopped wobbling. Nope, we're still at ... Okay. Okay, so it's... Oh, it's that. Fine. I played Half-Life. I know how that goes. Yeah, Sunless Seas was really bleak. It actually gave me a couple of issues. If you remember, for those of you who were there for that stream, we actually managed our first playthrough really far. Like, it took us a long time to get our first game over. There we go. Okay, we're above ... at least. Mr. Pink, why is there Gluck all over the place? Hey, Maverick, there's a name I haven't seen in a hot minute. I hope you're doing well. I have not played Blueprints yet. It's on the list, but not fun, dude. Thanks, game. Thanks, that helps a lot. Yeah, most roguelikes that succeed at doing a narrative don't try. Like RimWorld. I know that's not actually a roguelike, so that's a bad example. Like FTL. Better example. Damn it, Reggie. Stop putting so much ketchup on your friggin' burger. God. Reggie, we just talked about this. 5 seconds. 5 seconds, Reggie. Okay, that seems to have been the correct choice. Yep. Let's go ahead and pop that really quick. Yeah, sorry. Room is suddenly flooded, crates in the room, splashes in water, immediate conveyance of get out of the water. So it's extremely hard to see, so let's see if I can figure out where the hell I'm going. So like this way. Nope. There we go. Annoying. There's a lever over there. Gaze into the light. Okay. And there's my destination. Okay. Okay. That's the enemy, Blateval. Something we cannot see. That only damages you if you're in the water. Thank you. Get physics a little bit every now and again here. Round one, done. Not great. Could be worse. Yeah, I'm trying not to pay too much attention to the arm there. Hey, oil. I'll take it. Literally, I suppose. So, destination. So yeah, in very simple terms, we're playing the floor is lava. With crates that we can pick up. Oh jeez, I got physics. I got physics. Still getting physics a little bit. Okay. Oh, I can't pick that one up. Oh, no. Okay, hang on. I'll pick this one up. Let's see here, evil water creature. Look, there's some tasty treat over there for you. Yes, blade tool. That's actually what I just did. I think it's impressive how many people have managed to make anything out of Five Nights at Freddy's, considering how pathetically non-substantive it is. Yeah, I caught that, Monobread. Did you notice that, right? We had to pull on that door. Thankfully, the dude was munching on a torso while I was doing that. Okay, so I've got a needle, so I'm thinking I might be able to pick the lock, assuming I have such a capacity. I might not. Okay. Still in the water, but I don't hear splooshing behind me, so that's a good sign. Okay, that's cool. I have changed my previous statement. No idea if closing the door helps. I have no idea. It like occurred to me halfway through. I was like, you know, I should close the door. Just in case. Yeah, by the way, do you notice, Monobread, each of those doors is a pull. Yeah, so breather section, now that we dealt with that. That was fun. Yes, the Prussians protected me. Now, but not before, Kitten Fan. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitten Fan. One might say you're in the dark descent. I got nothing. So yeah, I was trying not to alt tab because alt tabbing does this, but at some point I gotta jot down some positives, right? And 37 negatives. Let's see. Negative, no guns. Negative, no way to kill the monster. Negative, I don't know, what other dumb complaints are there? I've heard some weirdly dumb complaints about this game. And I definitely say weirdly dumb because it's like you're making that up, right? Like you don't actually mean that, right? Yeah, there's no yellow paint. It's too dark. No guns. Yeah. There's no boobs. How can we have a video game without boobs? This is a sausage fest game. Ugh, God. Nobody likes sausages. All right. What? Which part? Nobody likes sausages, or the fact that machine of Amnesia machine for pigs? Because okay. Um. You can't kill the monsters of Subnautica. Yeah, that's not. It's not a game we're playing. Come on, guys. Get at least a little bit with the program. Oh, I don't know. Kitten Fan. I've actually never played it. I own it. I never played it. The original 3DS. I didn't buy the port. Give me a sec. I wish the music didn't mute. Here, let me give you the most terrifying music I can think of. I mean, I got more terrifying music than that. Actually, I have a whole playlist for this kind of thing. Let's get some Zelda music. That seems appropriate. Do we have a name for the water monster? Unfortunately, no, but well, since obviously it wasn't supposed to play like that. We'll do it this way because I don't know how to do the omlog. Aqua Reggie. His body was ready. Listen. Oh god, you're right. We don't have a Reggie for water, do we? Of course, we only very recently got, like, what, Dragon and the other one I can't remember right now. Flying? No, it was electric, wasn't it? Yeah, it was electric. So, I do want to talk about that sequence we went through. Only briefly. I know you're not here to listen to me ramble on. This is from Legend of Zelda Four Swords. Getting fan. Also known as one of the best Zelda games that nobody's ever heard of or played because of bad marketing. So, the reason that worked so well is, first of all, there's two big things. We'll talk about the second in a bit, which is sound design. The first thing is early establishment of rules. Logically speaking, the water monster doesn't technically make sense. Like, the fact that you're hovering a few inches over the water shouldn't keep you safe. Like I said, it's floor is lava rules. But that's the thing. It works so well because it conveys to the player immediately, these are the rules. I like to call these board game sections, because board games are abstracted by design. They're not supposed to make sense in universe or naturally. They're supposed to be, okay, so if you step on a red tile, you lose one of your coins. Why? How? Doesn't matter. It's abstract. If you lose a coin, you're on a red tile. Make sense? So you step in water, sploosh, 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 damage, 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 right? Floor is lava. No, yeah, that also makes no sense. Yeah, tap mountain, gain red mountain. Yeah, exactly. You get the point. So it works because the very first room very quickly and immediately conveys, here's the rule, water bad. And the first thing we see is a couple of lower planks and a couple of tall, I say planks, sorry, crates. Lower plank, crates, which are clearly shorter, and then taller ones right next to them. So there's your automatic staircase, and any human being with a functional brain will look at that and say, oh, okay, hop, hop, right? Actually, yeah, Half-Life 2. The Half-Life parallels continue. Half-Life 2 had the same thing with the land sharks in that sequence when you're heading to the prison processing facility. I can't think of the name of it right now. So, don't touch the water. Okay, cool. That's established immediately. And then almost immediately after that, we're given a section where we have to go through the door where we cannot avoid stepping on the water. But now we learn that it's gradient. It's not immediate death. It's not instant failure. You get into the water, the thing homes in on you. We also know, if you're paying any kind of attention, that it does slowly home in on you, even if you're not in the water. You know, and that's, obviously, there's some narrative, you know, horror elements of the monster can't see you, but it can smell you kind of a thing. It invokes that kind of a vibe. But from a gameplay perspective, what it means is it's never that far. You're always going to have a gradient of getting into the water and getting back out of the water if you screw up, or you have to go through a straight section, or you know, if you're just trying to go quickly. But it is going to be very close by, and therefore you can't just run through the entire section of the water, unless speedrunners can do that, which I wouldn't know about, don't ask me. So that's all very well designed. Then we go into the first room, and we have our timed puzzle. Pull the lever up, and it gives us a fairly large amount of time to do. And this is cool. Right next to the lever is a bookshelf. Obviously, there's a bunch of bookshelves in that room, but the bookshelf right there is literally right in arm's reach of where you're standing. So you can just go, reach, grab, book, fling, distract. Again, very natural tutorialization to this whole section. In fact, I'm going to jot down another pause for tutorial, because this whole thing is really well done. And then we run. We have to go through the water here. We jump over here. We jump over here. We jump over here. There's one last have to go through the water section. We get to the door. We're through. Done. Right? Wrong. You may have noticed, if you're watching my playthrough just a few minutes ago, I'm sure none of you were actually watching, as soon as I went through the first door, I paused for a moment, looked around, and then quickly established I'm still in the water, and then jumped right back out of it. The reason I bring that up is, if you were paying attention, there was a grace period. Did you catch that? Probably when the previous monster object was being removed and the new one was being spawned. So it gives the player a second to process, you are not safe. You are not at the place now where you can just move forward and be fine. But it gives you a moment to understand that. It's like, you got to keep doing this. It's like, okay. And that's the end of the tutorial for that section. That's the first encounter. The second encounter, we have to start using platforms themselves in order to actually make our own platforms across the water, which is great and allows the player to kind of come up with whatever solution they want to. And that's when we get limbs, which the monsters will actually eat, stunning them for several seconds. Okay, nice escalation. The third segment is run. And the third segment is actually very, very well done. And this is when I bring up the other thing that this whole sequence did well, which is sound design. It's nice and quiet and peaceful and just kind of vacuous. As you're sitting there, all you hear is the splashing of the water. Until you get in the water. Musical chords start to build up, sound starts to get heavier, the splashes get a lot bigger, and of course it's getting closer to you because it's harming at you. I mention that because nowhere is that more apparent than in the third thing, where the music just takes off, and you are constantly hearing the splashing because there's no safe zone anymore. There is no more place to avoid. It's an entire hallway of water, and that's the last thing they do really well. It just occurred to me. You have spent the last several minutes dodging the water, and then you're faced with a hallway just filled with water. Big empty hallway, lots of water. And the reason I bring that up is on the off chance you didn't process that this is the run section, that gives it away immediately, because there is suddenly no other choice. You go through that last door, there's a moment of, as you process, the music kicks up, and there's nothing you can do except for run. It is the only viable option. And yeah, I noticed that there were a couple of chunks of debris in the terrain, probably to slow the monster down, or you if you're not on it. And apparently, closing the door actually gives you a little bit extra time, too. This is an extremely well-constructed section, and easily the best part of the game so far. I'm almost sad that we're past it. Foreshadowing is a little... No. I don't know if there's a second section. I have no idea. But for now, I do want to mention pacing. Both axes, actually. And now we're free. We're safe. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. See? I would not get in that. Just saying, you could not pay me to get in that water. But yes, we've seen several times. There's a concept I've started referring to as you did a good, or conversely, you did a bad. It has to do with feedback, and for the overwhelming majority of my gaming career, I have not had to discuss feedback, because feedback is such an obvious duh aspect of game design. That it's only much more recently I've started encountering games that have bad feedback. There's several things in this game. There's a little flash of light, there's musical cues, the music actually changes slightly. Audio cues, and then the music changes slightly based on you did a good. You have progressed. And you notice that, right? Progression. Literally completing a puzzle and completing any of the mandatory steps in the critical path actually gives you some sanity back. So it is encouraging you passively, consistently, to always be moving forward, because that's one of your biggest sources of healing. Which is a neat mechanic. I should jot that down real quick, yeah. Alright, so let's go exploring really quick before we go down where it probably wants us to go. Grab some. Okay, fine, game, fine. I cannot see a damn thing in here. Anything? Come with me, statue. This is now Mr. Red, canonically. Why is it always a manor or a mansion when it's some horror thing? Is it just because rich people are that horrible that we kind of made them the boogeymen in our fiction? Is that what this is? Chambers of the Human Skull. Okay, that's cute. After a short study, it's clear the agitation found among the humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain induce stress, which seems to trigger an endogenous response, causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe the catalyst is produced in the brain. It's difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There's an inherent problem in harvesting this energy, since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. I might be able to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments the experience of terror. Yes, we must scientifically extract as much terror from people as possible. What is this, Doom?
Let's see what you have to offer.
Poor dog.
What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw, but I can sense it. It's definitely there.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Further disappointment. The antiquarian's latest findings yielded nothing. I'm yet unable to grasp the inner workings of life and its relation to the power I sense within it. I shall pursue more books on the subject. I suspect it will be in vain, since no research has been made in my particular interest. I must attempt to fill that void myself. Clearly, humans emanate more of the energy I seek, but I hope animals will suffice, as they provide less of a hassle to acquire. Nice guy. I mean, typical rich person, so whatever, honestly. Humans are but cattle. We're walking. I mean, I noticed they've moved on to a totally different game, which I believe isn't out yet. The new game by these people. Ontos, that's it. It started with an O. Not out yet. Okay. Nope, hang on. Is today the 11th? Yep, today's the 11th. Jesus Christ. I mean, I've already mentioned that this team is kind of notorious for having bad management skills and bad budgets and bad finances, so it makes sense if they took absolutely forever to make their games. That's not a dig, by the way. As long as they can manage it, I don't really care. My big worry is there's several indie teams and small teams which just kind of fall apart because they mismanage themselves so badly they can't keep the lights on. And IPs just die on the vine. To my most trusted student and friend, John Ware. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling to the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I've been looking for the last 20-odd years. It's inexplicable as the Heliodromus described it in the Hortus Conclusus. It was as it was told about, an underground Mithraic temple crowned with the unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hand, and the texture was smooth and jagged, its color washed while rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Alstadt, investigating one of the antiquated trials, when I finally found the cavern. I went inside, and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They reveal, as you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it's also become my greatest fear. As I entered the background chamber, I could hear the fact that I'm just blurring here. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I gotta cut off basically now. I was right. We didn't make it 1 week without me being interrupted. I'm gonna go to the car repair place in like 20 minutes here. Couldn't make it 1 week. Couldn't make it 1 week. As you can understand, this is the most important discovery of my life, but it's also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts and fetch the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber into the woods, and I could sense something was following me as it bayed loudly as it closed in. The beast, the guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to a nearby ravine when I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but fortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, I felt such a tremendous feeling of relief, thinking I would be spared. Suddenly a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the colors of the forest were washed before my eyes. I kept running through bleak surroundings. The trees turned to charcoal black with leaves of cinder. The ground covered in murky water. I pressed on through drenched land as the glowing ember gave way to rising wind and rained on me. I could hear pleading scream. From the distance, I joined in as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. This certainly must sound strange, but I had been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The guardian had taken the orb from me, but still until this day I fear its return. Sometimes I lay awake at night listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It's been nearly a decade since that day, and I haven't been able to write about the incident. The last time we spoke, you told me about your interest in ongoing research into the mythic orbs, and I realized I owed you the truth about my visit to Alstadt. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. Let's get back to the central room here really quick. Safety room, safety room. Everything's fine, everything's fine. Nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. Monsters are eating my face off. Nom nom nom. I don't know when I'll be streaming again. Probably tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. I'll see you guys. Oh, and thank you, Sean, for the sub. I will jot that down for Pragmata, Little Kitty, Big City, and